All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Today I'm down here in Fort Morgan. We've not got the best water conditions. It's pretty dirty, but I tried for sheep's head this morning. I lasted about 30 minutes, forgot my dip net to get my shrimp out of there because nobody had fiddlers this morning. So after dunking my hand in the bait bucket a couple times, it was absolutely frozen. I broke off, couldn't even retie, so it was a quick morning. So I'm gonna see if I can salvage this evening. We'll see what happens. All right, first rod we're gonna throw out today is gonna be a pink Salties Pompano rig. Gonna have a couple different flavors of fish bite on there, tipped with salted shrimp. See what we can find on this guy. And here on the second big rod, it's another Salties Pompano rig. This one's in green, and again, two different colored fish bites. Got green and pink. Salted shrimp. I'm gonna zip this one out there, and then I'll get a couple whiting rods out. Got a helicopter flying overhead. Got a couple flying over, but as you can see, that spaghetti grass is thick today. Hope if I wade out I can get beyond it maybe just a little bit and have some luck out there. But all right, the tide is not nearly as high as I thought it would be. I knew it was going to be low, but I didn't think it'd be this low. It should be coming in, so I'm going to do my greatest Huckleberry Finn impersonation here. Get my pants rolled up and probably have to wade these out a little bit. The south wind isn't allowing me to cast quite as far as I want, so I'm going to have to wade out a little bit. Basically, what I'm banking on... Oh, I got a hit down here on this rod. Just as I was saying that. What do we got? Get caught up to it. All right. I was gonna say, basically what I'm banking on today was gonna be maybe some drum with how dirty the water is. Maybe get lucky and find a couple whiting in real tight. What do we got? Looks like a nice whiting. He might be just a little small, but hey, no skunk. It is a whiting. He is too small. You can see that spaghetti stuff all over that. We'll get this guy back, grow up, get a few more inches on you, then I'll keep you and eat you. Get this one thrown back out, and I gotta admit, I'm pretty excited that I didn't start off with a hard head, because I was really afraid it might be a lot of hard heads out here. But I'll take a dink whiting in these conditions. Really dirty water, tons of grass. So catching anything is a plus, and that's already happened, so I already consider tonight a success. Here we go. Not a big fish. I just keep my drag set really loose, so that's why you heard that drag slip there to start with. Hopefully it's a keeper. I could go for a couple keeper whiting. I've got a little catch and cook idea I would like to do. Not gonna quite be a keeper. Just a bit small again. Down here. Oh, come on. Oh, are you, there we go. So are you on there? Man, that really bent the rod. I am really surprised I'm not getting more of a fight out of that. Oh, surely it wasn't something that just swam into the line and then I'm just dragging in grass now. But man, I mean, that really bent that line, or bent the rod. I mean, that's a solid keeper whiting, but there's no way that fish bent the rod like it did. Ain't no way. I mean, that's a 12-foot rod, and that dude bent it in half. That whiting, I think that was whiting number 2 or 3, I don't know. If I catch more than one fish, I can't keep track. But they've all been on the pink Salties Pompano rig tonight. None of them have been on the green. I've got some hits on the green, just not hooked up. And then of course my 2 whiting rods that are in real tight, they're not getting any action. It's just, I think it's a little too shallow, and obviously these whiting are running way out there this evening, so I could probably pull those in and be just fine, because I don't see much happening up close this evening. I think we got another whiting. Come on, I need a big one. This was pulling a little more than the last, but again, that grass, I mean, it fools you. that grass will absolutely fool you when it gets piled on there. I mean, personally, I think when you're reeling in a big wad of actual grass, or the spaghetti monster, whatever it is, the grass and spaghetti actually feel heavier than it does when you're actually reeling in a fish, because you can't turn it, you can't get it to glide through the water. All it does is just grab on to the bottom, or create a lot more resistance than a fish would in the water. But these whiting are all over the pink this evening. Oop. Guys, today has not been on fire by any means. It's been relatively slow. I think I'm at 4 or 5 whiting so far, but that can be a really good day in the winter. The winter time's not always action-packed, and that can happen any time of the year. That can happen in the summer. I mean, you can come out here when the pompano are running real thick in April and still struggle to catch fish. There's just certain days you're out here, it's going to be a challenge. But those days I kind of enjoy, because when you catch something, you feel like you've achieved it, like you've earned that fish. And then you have those days where it's just non-stop, just fish after fish after fish. Yeah, those are fun, but it's not as rewarding as actually coming out here and struggling and then having success. Right after I said that they're only hitting the pink, get hooked up on the green here. This guy feels like a decent fish, but guess what's going to happen? There's going to be 3 pounds of grass on the end of this when I get it in. What do we got here? Oh, that's why. Doubled up. Guys, I haven't used a double dropper rig in a long time. That is cool. So I don't ever double up. So that's cool to actually have that happen. All right, what do we got here? Be a keeper whiting. Keeper whiting. Fighting a little bit there. That might be a keeper. He's thick. He's a thick little guy. Even if he's not 12, I may hold on to him. All right, I'm actually going to hold on to this guy. He is actually just under 12. Not a huge whiting, but a 12-inch whiting is a good size to keep. You get a decent size fillet off of him. He's actually a fairly thick whiting, so I'm going to go ahead and toss him in the cooler. I am going to wade one of my whiting rods out just a little ways. And every time I want to wade out a little bit, I get a little bit bigger wave than I'd like. But I'm going to get this guy out just a little further. Hopefully, I'll get hooked up on it as well. That actually went a lot farther than I anticipated. That should be out there where these whiting have been running, so I'm kind of impressed with that cast I just made. Finally got a hit on the whiting rod, and I was actually thinking I finally hooked up close, but I forgot I actually walked this one out a little ways and threw it, so it's not in tight like I first thought. But I am glad to get hooked up on it. It's always fun catching fish on this lighter gear. Come on, be one more keeper at least. I'd like to get 1 or 2 more keepers. That would be nice. What do we got? This dude is really close and I can't see it. Oh, looky there. We got a pomp on the board tonight. He's a little guy, but that is actually my first pomp of the year. So I'm excited, even though he's a little guy. We got a pomp on the board, so good deal. All right, guys, first pompano of the year, mid-January. It took me a little while to find one. He's not a keeper, he's going back, but always exciting to catch your first pompano of the year.
All right, guys, not a crazy awesome day in the surf, but I would call that a success. Especially, we're moving into January, we're coming up on February, and surf fishing is very, very difficult this time of year. Especially right now, we are moving into a legit cold snap where we're having lows down in the 30s, even flirting with that freezing point. I've been scraping frost off my windshield every morning before I go fishing. So that just tells me right there, it is really, really going to get difficult, and there's going to be some days where you get skunked. That's part of it. But again, I consider that day a success. And success is relative to the conditions that you're fishing in. Yeah, I mean, if you're fishing the peak pompano run and you can't find pompano, the only thing you catch is a couple hardheads. Yeah, that might not be a success. But if that's your very first time ever surf fishing and you go out there and catch a couple hardheads, hey, that's a success. You jumped that first hurdle and you went out there and you caught fish on your own in the surf. So what I want to know is, what do you guys consider success in the surf? Comment down below and let me know, because I'm curious. I am genuinely curious to know how everybody judges their success in the surf. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. So until next time, I'll see you later.